Um, NBA is a big business. We didn't think about specifically attacking a business problem. It was more that enjoying sports, we wanted to do something with a sports API. So we used a API called Ball Don't Lie, and we take it the right screen. You see this? Yes? Okay.
Yeah, we see it.
All right, cool. So we've called it overtime, and when you go to the page, it's going to provide you with the current games that are currently being played. The API offers every 10 minutes they'll update the score. So what I did is I refreshed, having it check every 2 minutes to update any scores. One thing found out is if you do a date.iso time, it actually does the adjustment from GMT. So what happened when I first tried to see if it was working live is it was showing me the next day's games because I just took the date and I didn't do the adjustment. So I had to do a date local. So on the page, we did an accordion. It also shows tomorrow's games, so you can see tomorrow's games, or you could also look at today's games. So now I'm going to turn it over to Jorge, who's going to do the players tab.
Tonight.
Hey, Jorge, I think you're muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, I just wanted to show simplicity on this login screen. It's purely just HTML and CSS with the background image that I got from, I believe it was like unsplash.com. But the only thing that isn't HTML and CSS is I got these icons from like fontawesome.com. And so essentially, it doesn't have any verification. I wasn't able to figure that out with the time we had. But when you type in characters for the password, it is going to be hidden. And then this button right here will take you to the main website. And again, like Fred said, this will actually update with the games that are currently going on. And I believe it'll update every 10 minutes because that's the limitation of the API. But if we go ahead and go to the players tab, again, I want the user to know exactly what's going on when they go on a tab. And so I have this really, really big text bar that spans the whole web page. And so my thought process is if the user goes in and types in a first name, it should pull up any player that has that first name. So for example, LeBron James, so it'll pop up LeBron James, his position, team, his height, weight, and then we have an extra button right underneath, which will actually feed into the API and get the current season averages. So if I go ahead and click this, I use Bootstrap to go ahead and make a pop-up modal message. And this is the information from the API, which actually updates daily and shows minutes per game, it's points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, rebounds per game, assists, and steals. And so I also had something in it because the API actually provides players that are still retired. So I needed to put a message for the user that showed that there isn't going to be any current data for that specific player. So if we actually put in like an older retired player, for example, like Dennis Rodman, it'll pop up with some preliminary information. Unfortunately, this is the information that popped up from the API, which is null. But when you click Get Season Stats, I put a message that says, sorry, player is no longer active, just to let the user know that this player is retired. And then with that, I'm going to pass it out to Hal to cover the teams aspect.
Alrighty.
Like that.
So my features was to displays all the teams, their roster and the schedule. So if you click on team, that shows the drop down menu using Bootstrap. And if you click on all, it will shows all the teams, 30 teams. And then it splits into divisions. And if you want to see individual divisions, you can click on it and it shows the teams that are in that division. And if you click on their roster, it will pop up the roster here. And one of the blockers I had with the roster was the API that we were using was pulling up the current and past players. So we had to build a dictionary with the current roster. And then this link will shows the schedule for the games. And then another feature was the mobile friendly. So from here, which is big, going to small, shows the hamburger patty. That's the one breakpoint, and our second breakpoint is this right here. So that is the conclusions of our app.